749 Bureau is a mysterious and taboo-filled name. Recently, renowned Chinese director Lu Chuan suddenly revealed that 749 Bureau did indeed exist. He had once been responsible for managing top-secret files at this bureau. The records in these files documented supernatural events that completely overturned his understanding of the world. Lu Chuan's first-hand disclosure has peeled back a corner of the iceberg surrounding this mysterious unit, the 749 Bureau. In an interview, Lu Chuan revealed that 749 Bureau was indeed a real organization in history. After graduating from college, he was assigned to this unit and worked there for 2 years. At that time, 749 Bureau was a specialized unit under the Science and Technology Committee dedicated to researching supernatural phenomena. It also focused on studying the superpowers of humans and was an absolutely confidential organization in China. Lu Chuan also revealed that 749 Bureau has collected a large amount of information about supernatural phenomena. The Bureau also recruited some individuals with superpowers. Among them were people with super memories, individuals with X-ray visions, people with telekinetic powers and individuals with mind-reading abilities. The first case involved a girl. She possessed a super memory ability. This girl, as long as she fully concentrated, could recall everything that had happened every day from her birth until now. She even remembered the look in her parents' eyes on the day she was born, although she couldn't speak at that time. Nevertheless, everything was vividly imprinted in her mind. This illustrates that the human brain can store all memories, but certain individuals have the capability to access these memories at will. The second case sounds even more bizarre and incredible. It involved a man with the ability of X-ray vision. He could see through the bodies of each person, including their prosthetics, artificial blood vessels, heart stents, and even detect abnormalities in a particular organ with just a glance. I've also encountered a lady in Hangzhou with X-ray vision capabilities. She could see through human organs and diagnosed illnesses in people. The third case involves a person named Ma Shangong. He possessed the ability to conduct electricity through his body. He could place one hand on a power source, hold a light bulb with the other hand, and when he turned on the switch, the light bulb illuminated. This indicated that the current indeed passes through his body. If an ordinary person were to attempt this, they would have been electrocuted, but he remains unharmed. The fourth case involved a woman who possessed the ability of foresight and retrocognition. As long as she touched an item used or worn by a person, she could recount events that occurred in that person's past few hours, with an accuracy rate exceeding 90%. In addition, she could also predict events that would happen in a certain place several hours later, although this ability consumes a significant amount of her own energy. The fifth case involved a young man. Faced with the loss of the key to a cabinet at home and the desire to open it and retrieve the contents, the young man, in a moment of distress, placed his hand on the cabinet and focused his thoughts on what was inside. Miraculously, the items from the cabinet appeared in his hand. The extraordinary ability of retrieving objects remotely by the young man was quickly spread. Subsequently, he was recruited into 749 Bureau. 749 Bureau had also been involved in the investigation of numerous supernatural events. Due to the high level of confidentiality in the majority of cases, it is impossible for outsiders like us to know the details. However, there are still a very few incidents with a wide scope and involvement of a large number of people that have become known. Among them, the most famous is the Xinjiang White Snow Wind murder incident. The Xinjiang White Snow Wind murder incident occurred in 1980. Based on various fragments of information that have surfaced, we have pieced together the causes and consequences of this event. In early January 1980, heavy snowfall swept across the border of Greta in Xinjiang, with a biting cold wind. 2 soldiers were on guard duty outside the barracks. Their platoon leader came out from the barracks, carrying hot water to offer them a warm drink. Upon seeing the two soldiers engaged in conversation, he loudly exclaimed, "What are you two doing? Not standing guard properly and whispering to each other." One of the soldiers responded with just one sentence, "There's a frightening sound." Suddenly, a fierce wind arose, and the surroundings turned into a vast expanse of white where nothing could be seen. The strong wind, carrying snowflakes, lasted for about a minute before abruptly ceasing. The platoon leader hurried over to check on the two soldiers standing guard. To his astonishment, he found scattered belongings on the snowy ground: clothes, water bottles, rifles, hats, and various items strewn about. A few steps away, there was even a pool of blood. However, the two soldiers were nowhere to be seen. Confronted with this scene, the platoon leader was instantly shocked and fainted. Later, the military unit, based on the account provided by the platoon leader, documented the details of the incident and reported it to higher authorities. 749 Bureau was tasked with sending personnel to conduct an investigation. The information was also kept under tight wraps. Strangely, not long after the incident occurred, the platoon leader went mad for reasons unknown. Where did the two soldiers on guard duty go? Were they truly swallowed by that strange gust of wind? As the truth was being investigated, another tragedy unfolded. One day at the end of February, a team of procurement personnel from the military camp, while 2.5 kilometers away from the troops, heard eerie and desperate cries coming from the direction of Greta. However, when they arrived at Greta, the sight that greeted them shocked everyone. The people of Greta village had completely disappeared without a trace. Scattered on the ground were tattered and torn clothes. There were also puddles of blood that had not yet congealed. The only remnants of the livestock were bloody skeletons. There wasn't a single survivor in the entire village of Greta. Subsequently, information about the white snow wind incident in Greta, Xinjiang, was sealed off. Greta became a desolate village, with no one living there anymore. These two highly peculiar events were investigated by 749 Bureau. However, because the investigation results were classified as top-secret files, sealed and unable to be disclosed, the truth remains unknown to the public to this day. In the last century, 749 Bureau also participated in the investigation of a UFO event witnessed by over 1 million of people. On July 24, 1981, from 10:33 p.m. to 10:52 p.m. Beijing time, a spiral-shaped UFO flew across more than 10 provinces and cities in China, covering almost half of the country. There were eyewitness accounts from a crowd of over 1 million people. According to Wang Seqiao, a researcher at the Purple Mountain Observatory of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the spiral-shaped UFO that night traveled approximately 2,000 kilometers. They collected many relevant reports. Professor Wang Seqiao described, first, people saw a faintly glowing object in the night sky, shaped like a cloud. Later, it turned into a crescent shape, resembling an ear when seen up close. Hanging in mid-air, it suddenly started to rotate and slowly swung its tail, very peculiar. The crescent-shaped light alternated between bright and dark as it spun, with exceptionally bright moments, forming a spiral light band during the rotation. The overall spiral UFO moved slowly westward, growing larger and more astonishing. The massive UFO event also involved 749 Bureau in the investigation. In the end, whether they made contact with extraterrestrial beings is something we do not know. 749th Bureau also participated in the investigation and handling of many paranormal events. In the 1980s, on a dim summer night in a mountain village in Longyan City, Fujian Province, a family suddenly heard the cries of a baby. There were no young children in the house. Astonished, they followed the increasingly clear cries, traversing fields in search of the origin of the baby's cries. When they reached a graveyard, the crying suddenly stopped. From that day on, this family heard the cries of a baby every night. There was no method to make it stop, leaving them restless. The family sought help from the local police, but the officers were powerless. Eventually, they received assistance from 749 Bureau. After an investigation, 749 Bureau discovered that the area had once been the ancestral graveyard of an ancient noble family. The house of this family was built directly on top of the grave of one of the infants. Through a series of rituals and cleansing processes, the 749th Bureau successfully liberated this family from the terrifying experience. Actually, there is an abundance of rumors, novels, and audiovisual works about the deeds of 749 Bureau. The cases mentioned above have been essentially confirmed by multiple sources. There are also rumors that 749 Bureau was involved in investigating events such as the Kunlun Mountain Death Valley incident, the disappearance of the renowned scientist Peng Jiamu in the Lop Nua, the monster in Tianqi of Changbai Mountain, and so on. Because these events have accumulated a lot of interpretive content in the process of circulation, it becomes challenging for people to distinguish between fact and fiction and uncover the truth. 749 Bureau, as a covert organization, could be described as an elite official task force specializing in resolving supernatural events. It had made remarkable contributions in tracking and researching paranormal events and supernatural phenomenon. However, with the development of society, 749 Bureau was disbanded. Some of its elites transitioned to more crucial departments, while some individuals with superpowers were incorporated into more clandestine units. As for the highly classified files of 749 Bureau, some may be declassified after 30 years, but most will likely remain sealed, leaving behind endless speculation and rumors.